Hello there folks and welcome to part 6 of season 2 of our Neil Robertson pro career on Snooker 19 and officially the 75th episode of the series. Now today we have the second part of our round 16 match, round of 16, last 16, round 2, whatever you want to call it, of the Shanghai Masters against Ryan Day. Now if you didn't watch the previous episode which entailed the first session, I recommend you go and do that before you watch this episode, but for those of you who watched that first video you will know that we trail in this match by 3 frames to 2 after 5 frames. So that means that this episode could range from 3 frames if Ryan Day goes and gets a whitewash in today's episode, or it could be the full 6 frames if we get it to say 5 each and then somebody wins in a decider. But we're going to try to aim to win this probably 6-4. It's going to be a tricky one, but I think that Monday's episode was a lot about experimentation. We weren't really focusing, that's not really an excuse, but there were a few frames where we made silly decisions, and I think if we take those out of our game potentially and try to take those out of our game, we can't avoid them altogether. It's just impossible to do that. But if we try to avoid them as much as possible, then hopefully a few more frames will swing in our way. Because ultimately, it could possibly be 4-1 here, if you want to argue that. And that is possibly the best way to start an episode that I can possibly think of for a long time. Ryan Day in a snooker from the off. Has he hit the red first? Yes, he has, but he's not got away with that whatsoever. So, we have our first potting chance today. Again, not really done any practice before this episode, which probably wasn't the best idea. This is my first play of the day, so it might take a frame to get into this, but we should be absolutely fine given that Ryan Day's given us a nice opening chance to go and win this frame in one visit and bring it back to 3 each. So of course it was 1-0 to Ryan Day in that last episode, and I'm fairly sure, did we get, I can't remember how it went now. I think we went 2-1 ahead. I might be wrong, or did we? I can't even remember how it went now. It's how bad my memory is. I only recorded it last night, so that shows how bad my memory is. But let's have a quick look at what the potting angles are here. Yeah, we've got a half chance on 2 reds after this. Yeah, I know Ryan Day went 1-0 up. I'm definitely sure on that. But I seem to remember us going 2-1 up for some odd reason. Now, it's a little bit of a tight red, but we're going to have to hit this at quite a fair amount of power to get out of here.
He's taking this on.
No problems with
and we pot the red, and as a matter of fact, we actually moved the other balls quite nicely. The only bad thing is that I think the blue and the black, well, oh no, it's not. I don't know why I said it was. So the black's out of commission because we can't get to the black. But at least we can get to the blue, and that provides a decent position, I'd say, on a red.
Well, I'm not surprised he's taking on the long pot here.
And that's nicely dispatched.
Another trademark crunching long pot. 19.
Yeah, I'm sure Ryan Day went 2-1 up. Sorry, I'm sure we went 2-1 up. Because I'm sure that Ryan Day pulled it back from there to make it 3-2. Or I might be wrong. I might be forgetting things very easily. I've slept since then.
Nicely positioned for the blue here.
So we'll have to see. Can we cut the black in from that? Probably be a little bit of a stupid idea. So we'll just go for the blue here. And then probably go for this red up bulk. The position should be fine for that, so we might as well take the opportunity. A little bit overdone there. But that position's still fine to knock that red in up bulk and get that over and done with. Not have the burden of that coming up later on. Worst thing really, a red being up bulk, particularly if you have to play a safety. Because you think, oh god, we really want to avoid this red being up here. But actually we could have done with not screwing as much there because right, it's a little bit of an awkward shot now. We've got to play we can either play the green and screw back or play the blue and use some top. And I think we'll go with the first option of playing that green.
This into the right corner.
But whatever happens here, we have potted the green. It's going to be a long pot that we have to take on. Maybe a little bit more screw towards the cushion. This might have been a straighter pot, but we're not really looking at this one. We're looking at this red here. That was my original idea anyway. So that should be fine. Blow some top, try and get out of there.
Into the left corner pocket.
Not the easiest of pots though, but we've potted it nonetheless.
Excellent shot.
But because we made contact with a red there, that's just slowed the cue ball down a lot, which means this is a bit more of a fiddly shot than it should be. That being said though, we're usually fairly good at getting the green from here.
This really is tricky.
And it's there.
What a magnificent pot that
This
is.
might be a little bit of a problem though if it doesn't quite go to our favour. But tap that red. I mean, that's not going to be the one to go for because that's a... Well, actually, no, it's fine on the middle pocket. We might as well get rid of that while it's there. A little bit harder than I wanted, but just make sure it goes in. And again, a little bit of a precarious shot.
34.
But yeah, I mean, this hasn't been plain sailing so far to any extent. I can either trust in the green again, but that won't give great position here. So we have to go with what's a tougher pot, sure, but the rewards are a lot better off this blue.
He's an expert long potter, and he's taking this on.
And we've got it. Nice clean pot there.
Brilliant shot.
39.
Now I'm going to try and get this red and potentially line ourselves up for a black, but at worst, if we overscrew a little bit like we have there, the blue, but I don't think the black would have gone anyway, so yeah, it won't go. So it was a bit of a pointless exercise going for that. So the blue's there to cover. But a little bit of an awkward frame so far. I think we've potted quite a few good balls, but it has been quite an awkward one. Even with a 45 break, by now you tend to kind of get into the reds and get comfortable. But in this frame, that's not really happened. We're still quite precarious. Probably because that black's out of position. It just rocks you a little bit, I always find. But this this blue even will take us to a 50 break. Might as well try and open up a red or two here. Or actually just try and, yeah, get the position on this red here.
Good cueing required.
Gonna have to be a fairly hard shot to get the screw back.
He's really on fire here.
And this could be a little bit awkward,
He looks very sharp at the moment.
but at least there's another red available. Oh, there's not actually, so we have to go for this one. I'm fairly confident though,
Into the right corner.
and we've got it.
Excellent pot.
So we're pretty much at a frame winning position now. There's not much that can stop us.
52.
So we might as well go into this blue and then go into the reds. Just get some position to potentially clear up the table here. Remember that Ryan Day hasn't scored a single point so far this frame, and that looks close. But it's fine, we get away with that. But at least that's a few reds opened up. Get the red, screw back, and hopefully get the black. It's a nice red. Yeah, get the black, and at least then we can get that back on its spot and a little bit more comfortable. Try and just position ourselves a little bit better for the reds, which requires a little bit of side spin, which can be fiddly. Particularly if you're playing that not so much pace. Just got to get this right though. It's a fairly straight pot, so we should get away with it as we do.
65.
But it's always a risk playing with side. A 65's the break at the moment. We're going to actually go for the pink after this red, just to free that pocket up. And we can screw back as well, which is ideal. And we could be on for a century. I think that'd be a brilliant way to start today's episode. Actually, we're going to have to screw back for the one on the cushion, because we'd be a little bit awkward on the ones, on the two that are in the table by the pink spot.
72.
But a good break to start us off, a good confident break. Regardless of whether it turns into a ton or whether we miss this red and it's sayonara for the break. It doesn't really matter. But no, it'll be the pink we go for here.
73.
Again, needing a little bit of side. And a good pot.
What a top shot that is.
We're going to try and get a century here because I think that'd be a brilliant start.
79.
Really would. Get the red, screw back. Ooh, just touch the other red. I feared that might happen.
80.
I've got the black still available though. That being said, it's a little bit awkward in terms of positioning for the red, so we'll go for the pink here.
He's lining this one up to the middle pocket.
And it's there. Screw back hasn't quite worked. Didn't quite realise how far away this was from either pocket, so we're just going to have a jump at this one and see if we can put it into the far pocket, which we can't quite do. We were fairly close to it, to be honest. So not quite a century there. A pretty good safety, though. And a break of 86, and that will level the game up again. So a perfect start for us. The worst start would have been Ryan Day making it 4-2, meaning that we had to pretty much win every single frame.
It's really close.
Wouldn't
isn't
be
it?
ideal.
You get the feeling
So
one
from that,
error
let's hope we
could
can
be
push on.
really
Ryan Day
costly.
might be a little bit motivated and think, oh, okay, right, I've got a challenge on my hands and might up his game slightly. But let's see what happens. I mean, that's not the best break. We'll have to see how it ends up in terms of safety. But he's opened a lot of reds up there. And there's a few chances that we can take straight away. This being a clear one. Make sure we do pot this. Be a bit of a fool if we missed it.
Shot here.
That's an
And
excellent
it's there.
red.
Good start. And let's see if we can make it 2 frames in a row. Where we play some solid snooker. Ryan Day still not had a pot this episode. It's only, what, probably about his second shot, possibly. Going to try the follow through with the blue. You will remember this didn't get quite right on the episode on Monday with one of the chances we had. But it looks like we've opened a little bit of an opportunity here, which is great. With a red, black and pink, yes, a little bit out of play now. But at least that's okay.
That's ended up more awkward than he would have wanted.
Now, they say this ended up awkwardly. I can see what they're saying because can't get any screw back on this. So we're going to have to go with just a leap of faith. Get the blue, make sure that goes in. And see what position's like. Yeah, that's fine.
12.
Feel a little bit of out of puff. I've just come up the... just come back up the stairs. Got my cup of tea. It's been beautifully made. I'm a bit out of puff now. Hopefully the momentum we've built early on isn't shaken by
Decent
that.
position to take on a colour here.
Could have done with getting back for the blue, but because we made contact with a red, we couldn't. But we can at least get on the pink, which we have, and potted it.
19.
But once again, a little bit like that first frame, a little bit scrappy here.
Well, it goes. Half a chance here.
As I say, it happens in some frames. Every frame isn't plain sailing.
What a beautiful pot that is.
And I think we'll go for one of the bulk colours this time. No, the blue angle is okay, to be fair. Get that dispatched. And there's plenty of reds on the table we can go for.
25.
So we look in a good position here. I mean, we had a brilliant break first time off. The break-off was brilliant. It snookered Ryan Day right from the start. So that was our doing. But this frame, Ryan Day, a very peculiar break.
Well,
A very thick one on all the reds. And he just opened up the reds. And unless he was hoping for a snooker of some sort, I'll be honest, I have no idea what he was going for. Still baffles me. Probably play with a little bit of top. I'm just seeing how
This to drop
what we
gently
can
into
play
the
this at
pocket.
without missing it. Because we've had that several times before where we thought, oh, that's a good angle, we can get on the red, and then all of a sudden, no, we're going to miss it. So we'll get on this red anyway.
He's taking this on to the right middle.
And it's there. We've moved the blue a little bit, and that's a little bit too close to that pocket for me liking.
30.
We get away with it though. And we're finally starting. I whisper it quietly. I don't know how you can whisper something quietly, because you can't whisper something loud, but anyway, yeah, say it quietly, but I think we've got a little bit of momentum, and I'd hate for that to be broken all of a sudden here.
Missed pot. Pretty loose shot there.
Oh dear.
Neil Robertson, 37.
Talk about a jinx. The commentator's curse, they call it. Goodness me, that was a real curse.
1.
Let's get some momentum. Whisper it quietly. Yeah, I've just missed. I'd rather that one be whispered very quietly. That's a shame. Probably just focusing too much on a bit of a philosophy lesson, philosophy and ethics there.
13.
But oh well, we'll have to see how Ryan Day gets on. It would be a shame, I think, after all the effort we've put in here, for Ryan Day to restore the lead and effectively make it exactly the same as it was at the end of the last episode. But as I've said, it's not all over yet. Ryan Day 24 points behind, now 23. There are still 6 reds on the table. So as I always say at this point in the frame, regardless of whether the opponent wins it in this visit or
he's lost
not,
position here.
there is still plenty of snooker to be played. But that is a poor position, and he's certainly not going to win it just in one
Ryan
visit
A,
like that.
21.
Doesn't look like we've got a chance here, though. Could be a half chance. Have a look at this pocket. We might as well go for a half chance if we can. Combine that with a safety. Well, that red we were just looking at won't go anyway, so that one will. As I say, it might be worth just playing a bit of a shot to nothing here.
But a half chance.
I mean, that was way off. It just touched the other two reds. We misjudged that quite a bit. But I think, I mean, we're close to the bulk cushion. We're exactly on the bulk cushion. Would have been better if we'd have been behind one of these balls, but he's got to be fairly brave to take one of these on. And he doesn't. He just plays a safety. But touching the yellow might be a little bit suicidal for him. And I think we've got a chance here. So all's not lost in this frame. We had that silly miss.
No doubt.
Got to pop this though first off. Which we have.
Fabulous effort.
That's a nice pot. Luckily the blue comes back to us to provide a fairly easy starter for a secondary break in this frame.
Seven.
And of course, because it's not the black, we can get to that red quite nicely now. Because the black doesn't go back on its spot. No, that didn't really make the most sense as a comment, so I wanted to clarify what I meant.
8.
We've just overdone that a tad to get on the black. I might be wrong. Yeah. Okay, so blue, that's fine. So from a lead that could have been 4-3 to our friend Ryan Day,
So, this pot
hopefully
into the right corner.
we can use this opportunity and make it 4-3 to us.
No problem there.
But any more talk about, well, are we going to miss this, are we going to pop this? I think we'll leave that because
13.
it seems to jinx us quite a bit there. The fact I was on about momentum and then, oh, we missed a pot.
He's looking for the pot into the right middle.
That's a good pot again. As I've said, and said several times, my potting game, there's not really a problem with it as far as I'm concerned. Going to get the green and screw back again. Which makes things a little bit easier. Going to be tricky though to get a potting angle from whatever we play here, because these three reds are in a little bit of a tricky position, but we'll have a look at what the situation is.
17.
Yeah, it's that red we could have done with getting to, and we can get to it, but a potting angle isn't really going to be possible, so I think this red blocks the other two. Yep, it does. So it might just be safety time. Which can be a little bit risky. I mean, to be fair, that should be okay, because the one we've moved is just right on the cushion there, so that's not going to be a
Neil Robertson.
potting chance. So I'd say that's fairly safe. So he's just going to go for a safety as well. But there is a little bit of a sniff at that one being potted. I don't know if he's left that as a little bit of a half tempter, hoping that we miss it again. Can't be sure. But I fancy this one, hence why we're going for it. And it's there.
What a pot.
Bit of a bizarre shot from Ryan Day, but they can't all go right.
1.
And again, he was probably banking on the fact we'd probably miss that, so it's understandable.
He just wants to slot this into the middle pocket.
40 points is the gap, though, after potting that.
And in it goes.
So needless to say, all we need to win this frame and get from 3-2 down to 4-2 up is this red. And we'll get screwed back up for the blue just to confirm it, get those extra points. Better still, actually, you can go for the pink and get on the cushion. But yeah, there shouldn't be much opposition against us winning this frame now, wouldn't have thought. And really, the best start that we could possibly make. As I was saying at the start, we need to play our best snooker.
14.
And so far, we've won 2 frames out of the possible 2. And I can't think of much better snooker than that. Not really made many mistakes either.
15.
Just the one mistake, really. But we're just going to line this up behind the pink. Not really fussed about clearing up here, purely because the yellow's in a tricky position. So we'll just play this behind the pink. And that will be Curtin's frame. I'll be interested. 48 behind with 27. And off those two first frames, it's been, well, the perfect start, to be honest.
He's got a one-frame advantage now, and we'll be looking to.
Well, the last time we broke off, it was 3-2 to Ryan Day. Now we have the lead, which is absolutely fantastic. Ooh. Could the tide be starting to turn, though? I was worried about that, worried about it hitting the jaw there. And as a result, Ryan Day's got his first chance.
That's a loose shot.
It is a loose shot, agreed. But as usual, unlike the last frame, which is a very rare opportunity that your opponent makes all the balls for you, but he's got to make his own luck here.
6.
And to be fair, a nice split there. And let's see what Ryan Day can do. Can he pull it back to 4 each? Still a long way to go.
7.
Both in the frame and in the match.
12.
But he's fell behind for the first time in a while.
13.
That's going to make him uncomfortable. He's going to have to get on with it. And ultimately, as any player would want to, he'd want to stop the rout. If we went and won 3 frames in a row, it puts all the pressure on him because he has to then go and do the same to avoid him
21.
losing the match, which I've had that pressure before and it's not nice. And sometimes we've succeeded, but a lot of times, as you can probably guess, particularly since we've had this new update with the difficulty, it can be very tricky as well. But he's gone for a safety there after a 28 break. Initially, I wasn't paying too much attention. I was just sorting something else out. But we're going to have a half chance. Just going to check. Yeah, this misses the red. Just touches the black. So we're going to play with a little bit more power just to make sure it misses the black. But, oh, come on. Oh, that's desperately unlucky.
Foul.
It was a great pot. It was also the perfect in-off. Just collided with that black ever so slightly. If we hadn't mucked about with the power there, we won't well have hit the black, but at least we'd have got the pot. Oh, that's a shame. That's a real shame. Ryan Day gets another 5 points, of course.
Really impressive queuing.
5 or 6, however many. And, well, he's got a real chance here to go and win this frame. It's always a shame watching these sort of frames because when your opponent makes it look easy, especially when it's at this speed, when your opponent makes it look that easy, you've worked so hard to get that lead, and then all of a sudden all your opponent does is bang, 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 a few pots, and all of a sudden that lead's gone. But, ooh, it might be a bit more to this story, because he's just potted the black. Well,
Ryan Day.
well.
Neil Robertson. 7.
Let's see what he chooses to do here.
Now, looking at the table, I'm going to force him to play on. There's a tempter on that red.
Yes, he has.
Oh, that's a little bit silly. He's going to pop this. Well, he's missed that by a mile. So, no, not too silly in the end. And he tried to get a good safety there.
That's a really good
we'll try and just nick this red in.
Well, it goes.
If possible.
Half a chance.
As we do. And also get into the reds, but too much, really.
He'll be disappointed with that.
That's a shocker.
1.
So we've got to play the black. Just tap the black and get behind it, really. That's all we can do here.
Neil Robertson. 1.
This looks to be
And it leaves a tempter here. But he's missed it. So he's been gullible enough to go for it. And he's missed it. Well, we've got a bit of a way back here. But I think that if we won this frame, it'd be massive. Huge.
He'll be disappointed with that. So
Now 5-3. With goes without saying it in a best of 11. With 6 frames being the first. The first played 6 being the one who wins. 5-3 is evidently a lot different to 4 each. So we're going to work as hard as we can to try and make it 5-3. Now we have the chance and we're at the table. But things can always happen to make sure that doesn't happen. But we've got plenty of reds at our disposal. It's our job now to make our own luck. And let's see how we get on.
decent position on the pink here.
8.
A little bit underscrewed, that might be a problem.
Very nicely done.
Apparently very nicely done. Oh no, we can get to that, so he was right for once. Fold comes out with some rubbish sometimes, but at least that time he was right.
15.
Now, good position for the black. I'm just wondering about these 4 reds.
He'll play this with plenty of power.
A lot of power here. And all we get is a little tap, but that should be enough,
22.
I think, to open up this red, as it does. And that's a nice opener. Got to pot this, though. It's a little bit of an awkward chance, and we won't know till we get out of this, pure courtesy of the camera angle. 4 reds before, there's now 3, so we did pot that. That's great to see. But let's make sure we do go on now and win this.
Really the level of control he was after there.
Really don't want to get behind that blue. Really don't. And luckily, we just about get away with it.
So, this pot's into the right corner.
That's a good pot. Overdone on the black, yes. But there might be a potential for something else. So, 5 points to the gap. This pink would put us 1 ahead. No screw back options here, so we've just got to worry about the pot and see what comes later.
The long pot's on, and he's going for it.
This has been a great fight back. Really impressive.
And that is a very good pot. As Fold says, yeah, I think we've had a good fight back, and we're in the lead now. The 1 red's blocked off. It's a little bit disappointing, but sometimes that happens from these opportunities.
He's tempted by this red.
But we've got to pot this, though. And it's there. Great pot. Where's the cue ball, though? Where's the cue ball? Oh, no! Oh, no!
Robertson, 37. Ryan Day, 4.
Oh, it's desperately sad. Really is. Great fight back there. I mean, it's not all over yet. But a great fight back. And we make that sort of mistake. Just trying to be a little bit too aggressive and greedy and get on the black. We should have just focused on the pot. And if it had come back up the table, well, we could have hit a bulk colour. But he's thinking quite hard, long and hard about this. Understandably, really. This could be a pivotal shot in the match. He's potted the red. And now he's on to the colours. As I've said, the AI don't tend to make a mistake when we get up to the colours.
8.
And he's 11 ahead, so he doesn't need to pot all of these.
Pretty simple.
10.
That's a real shame, that is. But I think that shows that we have got the ability here.
13.
I think all he needs is the brown here. Yeah, he does. That'd give him a 20 lead. 18 left on the table. So fair play to Ryan Day. You can argue whether he deserves that one or not, but we did make a few mistakes. Fortune or misfortune. Ultimately, we still made the mistake. But he's not going to pot the green, or sorry, the pink or the black. So we're going to concede the frame.
Frame, Ryan Day.
And we're back to level pegging,
Play to take that frame.
which is a little bit of a shame. So 8 frames gone, a maximum of 3 left to go. As I've said, we'd love to win this 6-4 now. But what I'd say really is we need to avoid losing this frame.
This is pretty close.
It is close. It's been a good match.
Frame, Ryan
I
Day.
do like these longer matches, I have to say. I'm trying to think if I've played a best of 11 before. I don't think I have. I might have done. There might have been the Shanghai Masters final. Not the Shanghai Masters. The
Well, he's taking the red on.
proper Masters. The Dapperbet Masters final was
Impressive opening.
the last 11 frames. Do not pot that again. Oh, we get away with that. Jesus.
1.
Well, we had an opening red. We might as well go for the black here, haven't we?
This is a half chance.
And we got it, but no opening on the red, so after that 8 points, it's purely just going to be an up and down the table safety.
8.
It's a slight angle in the... Oh, well. We hit that too hard. And as a result, we didn't hit them on the first time, so we come back and that rebounded.
Neil Robertson, 8.
Some of our more... Oh, well, bloody hell. What was he doing there? That was wacky, can we call it? Unpredictable, unorthodox. Some people would call it stupid. But that was a bizarre shot. I wasn't really expecting that from Ryan Day, but even now he's played that shot, he does leave a tricky pot on for us, whatever we take on. And I do fancy this cutback quite a bit. And we were right to. We're in the reds though, we've just got to wait till this ball stops until we know what we have on the table for a chance. But these reds well and truly opened up, goodness me. So all we've got really is pink or blue. And as you can see, the pink doesn't go up there. Well, I don't think the blue goes either particularly. So that is a big problem. We either have to play a very tight pink, which I suppose would give us a decent safety chance.
This isn't easy.
That's absolutely way off. And that is a lot harder and a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. Goodness me. Wow.
Neil Robertson, 1.
But let's have a look what he goes for here. I can't quite believe that. You just think the tide's turning. Turning? No, I hope I edit that one out. You think the tide is turning, don't you? When we won 2 on the bounce there.
Nicely played.
And you
onto
think
the
we're
red.
finally starting to take some control.
8.
But then all of a sudden this happens and we could very easily be behind again.
Position looks good for a colour.
9.
5-3 can all of a sudden turn into 5-4.
Careless shot there.
But he's missed the yellow. And that was very careless. Gives us a great chance.
Ryan Day, 9.
Score's absolutely level. 115 remaining. So it's really who about takes who. It's really all about, if I can get my words out, it is really all about who can take the initiative here.
1.
Because whoever wins this frame is in a really good position going into the last 2. The other player's just under, for me anyway, I feel a massive amount of pressure.
He fancies this red.
Going to play this even harder this time just to avoid the black, but if still don't, and to be fair, that was quite close to the middle pocket again, quite unnerving. But none of the balls, apart from the green, none of the balls are on the spot, so we're going to remedy that straight away with the black. Because ultimately,
15.
your queuing, etc., all comes through practice. And if balls are off the spot, it just makes everything a little bit more confusing.
16.
So we'll get the yellow shifted. Back on its spot. There is obviously some sort of aim to this. It's not like just moving the balls.
18.
They are the shots that are most practical, given the circumstances. So it's not like we're just having some fun and moving the balls back on the spots and giving ourselves no position. But
19.
just the 3 colours out of position now, so that's fine. Made a little bit of a mistake there, I'd say. It's a little bit awkward. This one down the cushion should still go.
He's aiming for the left corner here.
Nothing too hard here. And that'll do.
25.
So we're fairly straight blue on the line here.
This requires a really good strike.
Yeah, good power there.
What a
We
pop
want
that
to
is.
open up that one on this
Goodness
cushion
me,
that's
that's
we're
a
closest
real
to, but the
cracker.
2 that are down the table I was more interested in opening up because they can block each other quite easily, but on this occasion they don't, so that's what I wanted to exploit, being on this side of the table. We'll just tap the black. No position to take that on really, but I'm just hoping something else comes to our rescue, that being the green, which is great.
He's playing the pot here.
Good pot.
Brilliant, brilliant pots.
Superb
But that
dribble
is
control there.
perilously
Ideal position.
close. We said this yesterday. I said perilously yesterday and couldn't get it right. So there is me. I mean, there's not many words in the English language that I can't pronounce, but that
He's
being
gonna
one
pop
that's
this into
dreadful.
the right corner.
But luckily I can pronounce dreadful. But that's not a synonym for perilously. Oh, for God's sake! Right, let's not get too caught up in this argument about words. It's not an English channel, is it? Right, let's just check our options here, because we could be in quite a nasty position if we don't play this right.
This isn't easy.
Yellow, I think, probably the best universal choice. No. Oh, hang on.
37.
That wasn't great on those two, but I have seen that this one down the table's available, which again has been made available by that tap we had on the black earlier, so that was good forward planning. Got to get this right, though, as we do. The black's still not open, and really we do have the same problem we've just had. So I guess it's just a case of I just play with some top here and hope. Well, I mean, there's a few touches there which might give us some fortune, but this is still a fairly tight pot on the red. This corner pocket, not one I like to take on, but we're forced to in this situation. I mean, that could be a bit off. That could be a bit off. There's one bit of solace here. There's not really anything on, and we're fairly close to that total we need to win the frame. But because there's not anything on, then Ryan Day's got the exact same predicament, if you like. So we're just going to play it up to this red. Hopefully this works out for us. I mean, it might be a bit quick. Might be a bit quick. Oh, that always can happen. And it gives him the starter. I really hope that's not crucial to this frame, because we've gone fairly close here. Just a few balls away. And that could ruin things. Let's see what he plays, though, here. Oh, he's missed the green. For some reason we didn't get to see that. We might have fast-forwarded it accidentally. No, I'm just going to play this soft. And then get past it, in effect. If we can do that. So if we play that soft, obviously it means that the other red's not opened up. Blocked anyway. So 40 ahead with 43 remaining. He didn't pot the colour, of course, so that means that he's effectively out of this. So well, we can't really go for that pot, can we? That'd be silly. So just a tap on this. Just play the waiting game. It'd be incredibly stupid to give it away here, given how close we are to winning this 9th frame. But of course, he ain't going to budge very easy either, is Ryan Day. So close to having a potting angle on that. That's gutting.
He'll want to get this cue ball close to the cushion.
Don't hit the yellow. Oh. Oh dear. Well, hello. That's a chance for Ryan. I mean, it was a tricky shot to pull off, that was. Might have been well advised to not play that with that sort of risk.
Well, that's a surprise. Bad miss.
But that's a big surprise, I agree. Massive. Well, I thought Ryan Day would take that chance, why I sounded so worried. But get this pot. It doesn't matter about the position or anything, but pot this, which looks fairly good, and it's dropped. And barring snookers, etc., as always, we've won the frame. Which I think we deserve, to be honest. But just to mop it up and make sure we do, we might as well try and clear these up. Get some momentum. It's been a scrappy frame, plus the fact it sets up well for that final frame, potentially. The 10th frame. Or even if it's a final frame decided, it sets up quite nicely for that. These colours in a very peculiar position. Oh, I didn't realise for some reason I thought the
He's taking on the
yellow was, if you like, we're on to the proper colours, so we were going yellow, green, etc, etc. I didn't realise we were, that's why I lined it up so nicely for the green. But albeit we potted the yellow again. We've got a nice chance on the green. It doesn't matter because the frame's all over here. It's just for personal stats, pride, etc. that we're going for this, and a bit of momentum going into that 10th frame, which we could, of course, win the match in.
This is really tricky.
Nothing too hard, though, here.
18.
And a straight pot on this.
We know what a prolific long potter he is, so I'd assume
I think the black might be an issue. But I suppose we can just screw back on the black, actually. It's not much of an issue. These have all been fairly straight pots, so we got away with that.
Just wants to sink this into the left corner pocket.
It's a good pot. Let's see if we can get down for this black. Looks fairly good.
29.
And with a break of 29, clearing up the colours, and a break of 36 now, the points difference was massive in that frame. And we go within 1. It's been a great episode for us. It's been 3-1 so far in the 4 frames played. And we go potentially
So he's opened up
into a final frame here where we can get through 6-4.
In this frame.
And that would give me a lot of confidence. A little bit of a thicker break off, but the ball's still nicely back in. And a great position there. Just see the edge of the one red, but he's missed it, I think.
Foul and a miss.
Yes, he has. He's missed it, so we're going to force him to retake
He'd
this.
asked for his opponent to play again.
But he's hit it that time.
Tricky
There wouldn't have been
safety
much
coming up.
difficulty involved in forcing him to continue, so I thought we might get him to retake. Maybe exploit a loophole in the game with the AI. That's nicely behind the bulk line.
That's an excellent shot.
Yeah, and I like that. Just a soft safety again from Ryan. Of course, he can't take too many risks here. But that's a definite opener.
Playing this with plenty of power.
Got to get this right, of course, and it
That's a good
is.
split. He's got
And that's a
real
really
chance
nice
here.
split. Oh, we nearly got 2 for the price of 1 there.
1.
So, we've got a 5-point advantage. Of course, the 1 courtesy of the red, the 4 courtesy of the foul. Can we go and win this now? Be a great confidence boost here. It'll be the first time we've beat a top 20 player, I think all season, actually. Yeah, because we've only played against... Yeah, Graham Dott's outside the top 20 now.
4.
But I think it's been the best snooker we've played. I don't want to get into a dramatic epilogue too quickly. And then we lose the match and all these comments are, in effect, wasteful. But no, I think that we played some very good snooker, particularly in today's episode. I wouldn't say that on Monday's episode we were too brilliant. But today we played some good snooker. I mean, this is a little bit of a challenge.
Tricky shot here.
I mean, that's way off. I don't know what we were doing there. And this might, well, as I said, be a little bit too early to start dramatising about the
Robertson,
match win.
10.
Have we got away with that, though?
Pot into the left middle.
No, we haven't.
Neil
We really have, though.
He's
Goodness
totally
me.
on here.
Wow. Ryan. I didn't think he'd follow that through. Goodness me.
Half a chance here.
It was a good pot, that was, but... And he did it on 2 balls. I don't think he wanted to, but we've just missed the red. Oh, goodness me. That's silly. I mean, we laughed and we thought it was a good opportunity to finish it all off, but within a few seconds, it wasn't us who were laughing. Right, see what he does here. He's only got the 1 that he can take on. Again, he's been a little bit lacking in today's episode. I'd argue he only won that 1 frame because we were pretty unlucky. So he's not really had any terms of massive break building displays.
9.
But I suppose there's still plenty of time for that. He has to win the next 2 frames to confirm his place in the last 8. It'd be great for us to confirm our place because we didn't do it last year. We lost 3-2 to Sean Murphy, so just be great for a personal accolade to win this match. But that's a big miss on the pink. Goodness me.
Ryan Day, 9.
Ryan Day, 9. I just love how he says Ryan Day. You gotta laugh at something, ain't you? Or else you go insane. So we're going to play for the green, although I do appreciate that after this green we've got no chance, to be quite honest, at anything. But no, it might be 1 chance. I'll have a look after we hit this. At this chance. We've overdone it to have a look at that 1 red I was looking at. The one, as you can see, that 4 in the middle that kind of form a T. It was that one I was going to look at, but that won't go now, of course. That one won't go through the middle of everything, so there's no chance here at a pot. So we might as well just play up to these middle reds. Don't see too much of an issue with that.
Neil Robertson, 4.
Just a safety from Ryan. He's touched a few reds. In fact, he's touched a lot of the reds here. And again, a very suspect safety from Ryan Day.
Well, that's not
It's the kind of thing you'd expect from us. Ultimately, wasn't the best shot from us, and he's just opened up a lot more opportunities than he should have done.
He's right on top of his game at the moment.
1.
I'm not going to complain. Another opportunity for us to wrap this match up. Another opportunity to avenge what happened at that pocket. Just
He's aiming for the left corner here.
make sure we pot in that again, get some confidence, not make it an omen, because that's what can happen. If you start missing a few out of one pocket, you get a little bit chicken and think, ooh, I don't want to pot in that pocket anymore. Which is a little bit of a pathetic stance to take, but it can easily happen. So we're playing real life as well. You think, oh, I don't want to go for that. And you lose confidence. It's inevitable. It's like all sport. You don't go for the chances that you'd previously take, and therefore you're not as good a player as you once were, because you're not using your full capability. But this is turning into a sports science lesson now, goodness me.
A half chance.
Even though I've never done sports science in my life, so I wouldn't have a clue of what that's all about.
What a wonderful pot.
Well, that's left him a little awkward there.
Yes, he's a little bit
11.
awkward, fair enough.
He's aiming
I'm sure
for the
Neil
left corner
Fold's done a
here.
bit of sports science above everything else. You know, he's so superior to everyone.
He's playing very well here.
It just gets on my nerves a little bit sometimes, but good player.
13.
He's allowed to have his say, of course, as is everyone.
Now, can he drop this into the right corner?
Every red, though, we do get a little bit closer, which is fantastic.
He seems full of confidence at the moment.
14.
And there are 4 reds left on the table. 27 is the gap at the moment to Ryan Day. This will be 36 with pot in this one, but that is a
Not the best shot.
stupid shot. Stupid. There is a nice and easy way of getting out of this in terms of a safety, though. I mean, we can just go for this, I would say.
He's playing the pot here.
No, I'm not going to go for the pot, because that would just be silly. Yeah, we can just play light on this, fairly thin, and get ourselves back up the table. There's not much problem associated with it, that's what I'm trying to say, but that's a little bit soft. Get back bulk line, that's all we can do, but that red is nicely opened up. That one by the
Neil
pink and the
Robertson,
black.
20.
A little bit sloppy there. But I seem to
is
think
a
it's a
hard
good
chance.
safety, but he's going for this, and he's got it. Not really much of a surprise. But he's had this several times now as Ryan Day. He's been in this predicament where
7.
we've given him a little bit of a chance, not played our best, certainly in this frame anyway. And he's had a chance to get the scores level, as he can here, and he's not taken it.
13.
And I think that might be something that happens again here.
Well, that's
No?
right.
Okay, fair enough. That's a good pot, that is. Very
14.
good. Green, interesting. And that's a good, very good
Very
position on
well
the
played.
red. We don't doubt Ryan Day's quality for a minute. And he could force a final frame decider. You know exactly what I'm like in those. Terrible. But 15 points is behind. 10 behind with 27 left.
23.
Little bit of a tighter angle here than he would have liked. But he's got it. As I say,
25.
most players usually don't muck it up on the colours.
28.
But this will put him 1 behind.
That could be better.
But yeah, that could definitely be better. Goodness me. You have to be a safety here from Ryan Day, so we will get at least another shot in this frame.
Ryan Day, 32.
Ryan Day. I don't know why I laugh so much at why he says Ryan Day. I just find it funny.
Shot pace will determine
But just
success
a
or
very
failure.
soft, thin cut on the blue, but that's... Oh, well. I suppose you can say we get away with that a lot. He could go for this. He really could. But that's too soft to get there. Can we get through? We absolutely can. And I fancy
This has a
myself
lot
to
of
pop
risk
this
attached to
myself.
it.
Let's have a look. It's there.
What a shot
Do
he's
not
pulled
pop the
out
black.
back
Don't
there.
pop the black.
No more than a half chance.
Oof, we got away with that. And this pink's the pivotal shot. Pot the pink and we're through. A little bit tricky, but not as tricky as some shots. I'm happy with that. Let's have a look at the angle. It looks good to me. It's there. Can't confirm this until it's over. Are we 7 ahead? No, we're 12 ahead. So we'll try and just cut this black in. It's not really much problem. But I think, again, don't want to confirm it just yet until the black goes in. As it does. Hang on, hang on, hang on.
Well,
it's gone in off, but it doesn't matter, does it? The black's there. The black is there. That's absolutely fine. We've gone in off, but that is absolutely fine. What a way to end the match. Goodness me. But with a victory of 6-4, a very good victory considering we were 3-2 behind going into this episode. And we've won this match. Well, we've won this episode 3-2, haven't we? Yeah, that's right. No, 4-2, sorry, 4-2. And as you can see, really, we were the dominant player on the day, scoring pretty much about 2/3 of the points. And we are through to the next round of the Shanghai Masters. A very good match there, and I think for me, personally, a really good confidence booster. Beating Friday by 2 frames and playing some good snooker in there. And we're down to the last 8 of the Shanghai Masters. Let's have a look who we're playing in this next round. Of course, all about money this. It's not really a ranking event, so no money for the ranking points, but there's a trophy at the end of it. And into quarter-final, an interesting match. We've got Stephen Maguire. This shows, I think, he's starting to show that there's a little bit more variation than there used to be in Snooker 19. It's a little bit wary, the likes of playing John Higgins in the last 16 of a Paul Hunter Classic. That's dubious, because that would never happen in real life. But Stephen Maguire through to the last 8. That means he's probably beaten someone else who's in the 9-16 bracket, you'd think. But yeah, interesting when we play Stephen Maguire in the quarter-final. Admittedly, of course, this really does mean that we're the favourite for this match. But Stephen Maguire, still, he's plenty good enough. And I look forward to playing him in these quarter-finals. So the episodes will be probably on Saturday and Monday. I might have an extra episode in there this week. Can't promise anything. But there might be an extra episode tomorrow. Seeing as Thursday is the day where we don't have any uploads. So I might have an extra episode in tomorrow just to get this match finished by Saturday. But again, no promises, but I might be able to squeeze that in since I am recording a little bit early, so I might be able to fit it in just about. But a good win there for Ryan Day, and on Saturday or tomorrow, depending on when we can get this started, we will play the first of 2 sessions against Stephen Maguire. Thank you very much for your company, folks. I've been TIJ Gamer, and until the next time, I will see you guys later on. Goodbye for now.